I'd buy some furniture and give the cat a name.
Hi, welcome to Collecting Audrey. Today we're going to focus on her autograph and how to identify a fake, different types of companies that grade autographs and the process that's all involved with, identifying fake autographs, and I will say there's nothing that gets me more riled up than people that sell fake autographs.
That's all I can stand. I can't stand no more.
You know, I've been asked, why even collect an autograph? What's the big deal? It's kind of, it's kind of weird. Well, you can collect whatever the heck you want to collect, right? For me, collecting an autograph gives me some type of connection to that person. If they touched it, they held it, for whatever reason, as silly as it may sound, I have a connection to that person, and I want that connection to be authentic. They actually touched it. It was, they spent time with it. It's, I don't know, it's connection, and it's fun.
I'd like to do just whatever I like, the whole day long.
The biggest challenge for any collector is proving its authenticity. We have to rely on third-party companies to do this, unless you have some type of crazy provenance that can prove that you obtained it. And unfortunately, with that comes a lot of challenges. People have had problems with PSA and JSA. Those are the top two, in my opinion, companies. I put Beckett right up there with them. We have to rely on these companies because if you ever want to resell your item or prove it's real, you really need their mark of approval to say, yeah, this is real.
Just what I wanted.
So I will defend JSA and PSA and Beckett up to a point. I mean, that's their job, is to authenticate these things. They've been doing it for a while. They've got the equipment, and they usually don't have a particular interest in your particular item. They really don't care. They just want to look at it and verify if it's real, and they're professionals at what they do. People will get upset because their grandfather promised them that Jackie Robinson signed whatever, but that doesn't mean that he signed it. So we really do have to rely on them and trust them because that's what they do. Their whole business is built on that, and I trust them because for now, that's all we have. All I have to go on,
That is funny, isn't it?
This signature is clearly a fake. At the time, I didn't realize. I just started collecting Audrey. The JSA lets us know that it was not intentional, but a secretary had signed it, so the person that got it in the mail assumed it was real. And back then, even now, when people send in autographs, secretaries will sign them. There's, I think, 5 or 6 or 5 secretaries that signed Audrey autographs. So I had to go complain, whatever, prove it was fake, and then get my money back eventually. But I won this episode and learned about fake secretaries or fake signatures from secretaries.
You were a darling to help. I could never have done it without you.
One of the signatures I've particularly identified as a big offender is this one. And we can see on this website, Bonanza, that I'm calling out, they have the same autograph on all these different pictures. And it's the same one, and I don't know who does it, but somehow they get this thing printed on these different photos they have printed out, and they're selling them for around $200 a piece, and that should be enough for you to realize that if it's for $200, it's probably not even real. It just makes me really upset to know that they do it. I've written them about it, and they don't really care.
This is my second and last encounter with you lunatics.
So these are signed, authenticated letters that Audrey wrote. We can see her signature here is pretty consistent through these. Seems to me when she wrote letters there was a particular mood or style she was in. So fortunately you can see all these are fairly consistent. So this is the first basis when I look at a signature I verify from.
The case would be laid before you, and your word would be law.
Here we have signed photos from Audrey, and they're kind of all over the place, just variations of different things. You do notice the A's looking consistent, the U, R, D, Y. The H's are almost always a little bit different, so this is what makes collecting her autograph in particular difficult, because there's just so many different variations.
Oh, there are currents and countercurrents.
Clearly, these photos are just very quickly signed. She may have been in a hurry. Who knows? But you can see how messy they are. I'll call this the Crazy H. I have no idea when she started doing this.
How long has this been going on?
So the last set I want to talk about are her teens. We have a passport, a photo postcard, and a drawing. This is the back of a drawing she did. It's the last one you see. She signed it. She drew a picture of her mother in a chair, and she wrote a little note on there. We can see her Y is different. The 1945, that's a photo postcard. I own that one. I'm super excited to share that with you. Can't wait to talk about it. Wouldn't it just be, what's the word? Dang it, Audrey would know.
I want it be lovely, 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 lovely.
There is no doubt that collecting authentic autographs are a challenge. Many people are out there trying to rip you off. It's just how things are, right? So you have to be really diligent at it, and you can't trust anyone. Just because you got it from a guy that told you his grandfather was standing outside the theater in '58 and got it, you don't know. His grandfather may have gotten it from somebody who told him that, and they may think it's real, but you just don't know. So you have to be really careful. And the other part of it too is the websites will say guaranteed authentic signature. And I'll email them back and say, whose signature, right? Just because they say it's a guaranteed signature, you don't know. Sure, somebody signed it. And they will hide behind what they call trusted partners. And I've argued with them in correspondence saying, hey, this was fake. I can prove it's fake. Here's the PSA letter. It proves that it's fake. And they'll say, yeah, well, our trusted partner, they wouldn't, send us something that was a fake. And my, partner in crime is my typical response, because I can, after a while, then I've been able to tell that it is, fake. At first, I wasn't able to, but now I'm getting pretty good at it. So if you haven't Audrey autographed anything, I'll be more than happy to look at it. It's fun to do. I've gotten better at it, and there's other things that when I send it in that they can do that I may not be able to do. But if you look at the back of it and you can see the imprint, you can see the ink coming through, get a really good magnifying glass, you can tell if the ink bleeds. There's a lot of little things that you can do to help identify these things. You just got to always be diligent, and I'm here to help. If you have any Audrey collectibles that you are thinking about getting rid of, or I'm always interested. So who knows, I may want your cool Audrey Hepburn collectible.
I Popeye the Sailor Man. I Popeye the Sailor Man.
Years ago, my mother said I looked like olive oil. Popeye's girlfriend. Thin legs and big feet.